everyone. Myself Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, Professor in Management Department from Tecnia Institute of Advanced Study. Today I will deliver you the lecture in service marketing. What is service marketing? Every day we interact with various economic activities like getting courier delivery at the request address, making phone call to friends, relative or clients, having coffee in coffee shop or taking metro to commute office. Such activities are called as services because they involve deed or act and offer by one party to another party. Service differ from a good in many ways. The way a product is produced, distributed, marketed and consumed is not the way a service is. Hence, a different marketing approach is necessary for a marketing service. The world economy nowadays is increasing characterized as a service economy. This is primarily due to the increasing importance and share of the service sector in the economics of the most developed and developing countries. In fact, the growth of the service sector has long been considered indicative of a country's economic progress. Economic history tells us that all developing nations have an invariable experience a shift from agriculture to industry and then to the service sector as the mainstay of the economy. This shift has also brought about a change in the definition of goods and services. No longer are goods considered separate from services. Rather, services now increasingly represent an internal part of the product, and these interconnective of goods and services is represented on a good and services continue. In the service marketing, the definition was given by the American Marketing Association that activities, benefit and satisfaction which are offered for sale or are provided in the connection with the sale of goods. Another definition was given by the Philip Koder that as activity or benefit that the party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its products may or may not be tied to a physical product. The characteristics of the services are: number one, intangibility. Services are intangible and do not have a physical existence. Hence, services cannot be touched, held, tasted or smelled. These must define features of a services and that which primarily differentiate it from a product. Also, it poses a unique challenges to those engaged in marketing a service as they need to attach tangible attributes to intangible offer. Second is a variability. In this, there is a given the very nature of services, each service's offering is unique and cannot be exactly repeated even by the same services. While products can be mass produced and inhomogeneous, the same is not true of services. For example, all burgers of a particular flavor at McDonald's are almost identical. However, the same is not true of the service rendered by the same counter staff consequently to customer. In the variability, since the human involvement in service provisions mean that no two services will be completely identical, they are variable. Returning to the same garage time and time again for a service on your car might see different level of customer satisfaction. If you watch your favorite music group on DVD, the experience will be the same every time you play it. Although if you go to see them on a tour, when they are live, no two performance will be identical for a whole variety of reasons. Next is perishability. In the perishability, services cannot be stored, saved, returned or resold once they have been used. Once rendered to a customer, the service is completely consumed and that cannot be delivered to another consumer. For example, a customer dissatisfied with the service of the barber cannot return the service of the haircut that was rendered to him, and the most he may decide not to visit the particular barber in the future. In the next point, inseparability. In the inseparability, this references to the fact that service are generated and consumed within the same time frame. As example, haircut is delivered to the consumed by the customer, unlike say a takeaway burger which the customer may consume even after a few hours of purchase. Moreover, it is very difficult to separate a service from the service provider. For example, a haircut is delivered to and consumed by a customer. Here, same another thing, the barber is necessarily a part of the service of a haircut that he is delivering to his customer. Therefore, the airline has no choice but to price at peak when it sell a seat to busy time in order to make a profit. That's why restaurants offer vouchers to compensate for time to time, and it is the same time for railway tickets also delivered in the during middle of the week. Next heading is homogeneous. In the homogeneous, where services are larger the same, we considered McDonald above, in which the largely homogeneous service. So now let's look at KFC and Pizza Hut. Both of these businesses provided a homogeneous services. Experience whether you are in New York or you are in Germany or you are in India. Consumer expect the same level of service and would not anticipate any huge deviation in their experience. Outside of the main brand, you might expect a less homogeneous experience. If you visit to your doctor, he or she might give you an interpretation, whereas another doctor will give you another. Your regular hairdressers will deliver a style, whereas a hairdresser is next town could potentially style your hair differently. Therefore, standardization is largely embodied by the large global brands which produce services. After understanding the characteristics of the service marketing, now we will discuss about that what are the reasons of the growth of the services. Why the service marketing has been grown. Reason is there that manufacturing industries grew because they produce intangible goods which satisfy man's psychology, need of food, shelter and clothing. As the basis need was fulfilled, there was demand for improvement satisfaction, and this led to a profilization. Therefore, manufacturing industries grew because they produce tangible goods which satisfy man's psychology, needs of food, shelter and clothing. As the basic needs are fulfilled, there was the demand for improved satisfaction has been increased. The growth of service industries can be traced to the economic development of the society and the social culture change that have accompanied it. Changing environmental forces brought out the various types of services in forefront of the economy. Here are the few environmental factors which affect on the services. What are the reasons why the service marketing has been grown? Number one, consumer affluence. Due to the fast rise in the income of consumer, they are attracted toward the new area like club, health club, domestic services, travel and tourism, entertainment, banking, investment, retailing, insurance, repair, etc. These are growing much faster than ever before. There is a significant changes in the pattern of the family expenditure due to the consumer affluence. When the income has been increased, so the people wants more and more facilities. Another topic is which factor on the service marketing is working women. During the recent time, a large number of women have come up in a variety of professions. The work performance of the women is most service sector like bank, insurance, airline, etc. is a highly appreciable. In short, Women are getting involved in almost all dominated activity. Due to increasing involvement of the women in the commercial activity, the services like domestic activity, fast food restaurant, marriage counseling, personal care, financial services, retailing, etc. have been increased. Another factor is double income. Double income is also the reason of increasing the service marketing. Due to double income, they have a lot of money, so they want a luxury in everywhere. On this way, in this time, the luxury is very important for the people. Next heading is leisure time. People do get some time to travel and holiday, and therefore there is a need for travel agencies, resort, hotel and entertainment. There is a need for adult education, distance learning, part-time courses, etc. In the next heading, greater life expectancy. According to the World Development Report and World Human Resource Index, the life expectations of the people has increased significantly all over the world. Human Resource Index, the life expectation of the people has increased significantly all over the world, barring few developing countries. It may be due to the advancement in the medical technology and greater awareness about health and education. Greater life expectation invites opportunities in service like hospital, nursing home, entertainment, leisure service, investment, banking and so on. So we can say that the company has been giving their attention to improve their product more and more. Next is product complexity. In the product complexity, a large number of products are now being purchased in household which can be serviced only a specialized person. For example, we use water purified in our house, microwave oven, computer, refrigerator, air condition, etc. These all things are giving rise to the need of services. The growing product complexity create greater demand for skill specialized to provide maintenance for these complex product and brings out services like expert advice, consultant services, etc. I want to say in this then that when we are using these kinds of product in our house, then we cannot do any service ourselves. So we want the expert person and we call them. This type of the services also has been increased in the market. In the next, complexity of life, certain product and service have made human life or more comfortable and complex as well. Also, life itself has become more complex due to the socio-economy, psycho-political, technology and legal change. This has brought about the services like legal aid, tax, consulting, professional services, airline, courier services, insurance, bank, etc. In the next heading, we will discuss about the new young youth. What is the reason why the services has been increased? Every new generation has its own characteristics and enjoys a different lifestyle. There is a lot of differences between the generation in respect to their living conditions, style, maturity, thinking, attitude, behavior, belief, satisfaction, performance, value and so on. Today's generation, which all these changes provide more opportunity to service like entertainment, fast food, computer, travel, picnic resort, educational institution, counseling, retailing, etc. In the next factor, there is a resource scarcity and ecology. In the resource scarcity and ecology, I will explain you that as the natural resources are, the need for conservation is increasing. We have seen the coming up of service provides like pollution control agencies, car pools, water management, etc. These are related with the natural resources. In the next, there is a corporate crowd. The phenomena of the globalization, privatization and liberalization coupled with fast urbanization have created the corporate world crowd and its support services. This crowd is responsible in bringing the new services and redefining the old one. The services like hotel and restaurant, banking, insurance, travel and tourism, advertising, airline, courier services, marketing research, healthcare, legal services, etc. will emerge and flourish more and more. At last, I will tell you that whatever we have learned in the services marketing, you can understand that what is service marketing. Service marketing is a relatively new phenomena in the domain of marketing, having gained in importance as a discipline only toward the end of the 20th century. Service marketing first come to the force in 1980 when the debate started on whether marketing of services was significantly different from that of product so as to be classified as a separate discipline. Prior to this, services were considered just an aid to the production and marketing of goods and hence were not to deem as having separate relevance of their own. The 1980s, however, saw a shift in this thinking as the service sector started to grow in importance and as a significant employer and contributor to the GDP. Academic and marketing practitioners began to look at the marketing of services in a new light. Empirical research was conducted which brought to light the specific characteristics of services. So you can understand that why the service marketing has been increased. Okay, so thanks to joining this lecture. Thank you very much.